Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. I would love to just thank all of my subscribers. If you were here in front of me, I'd give you a big hug and I'd tell you thank you and shake your hand. And I'd say thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So I send that to you energetically. And without you, there's no need for me to be here. So thank you for being a huge, huge, huge part of my journey, my mission, my path, my purpose. It's in the afternoon on Friday, and I'm getting ready to do another reading. So let's thank God for this great opportunity for us to meet again. Okay. So let's begin by reading out of the Bible. And let's see. I'm on Jeremiah 51:20. You are my war club, my weapon for battle. With you I shatter nations. With you I destroy kingdoms. With you I shatter horse and rider. With you I shatter chariot and driver. With you I shatter man and woman. With you I shatter old man and youth. With you I shatter young man and maiden. With you I shatter shepherd and flock. With you I shatter farmer and oxen. With you I shatter governors and officials. Before your eyes I will repay Babylon and all who live in Babylonia for all the wrong they have done in Zion, declares the Lord. I am against you, O destroying mountain, you who destroy the whole earth, declares the Lord. I will stretch out my hand against you, roll you off the cliffs, and make you a burned out mountain. No rock will be taken from you for a cornerstone, nor any stone for a foundation, for you will be desolate forever, declares the Lord. Lift up a banner in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations for battle against her. Summon against her these kingdoms, Arat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a commander against her. Send up horses like a swarm of locusts. Prepare the nations for battle against her. The king of the Medes, their governors and all their officials, and all the countries they rule. The land trembles and writhes for the Lord's purpose against Babylon stand, to lay waste to waylace the land of Babylon, so that no one will live there. Babylon's warriors have stopped fighting. They remain in their strongholds. Their strength is exhausted. They have become like women. Her dwelling are set on fire. The bars of her gates are broken. One courier follows another, and messenger follows messenger, to announce to the king of Babylon that his entire city is captured. The river crossing seized, the marshes set on fire, and the soldiers terrified. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. At the time it is trampled, the time to harvest her will soon come. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has devoured us. He has thrown us into confusion. He has made us an empty jar. Like a serpent, he has swallowed us and filled his stomach with our delicacies, and then has spewed us out. May the violence done to our flesh be upon Babylon, says the inhabitants of Zion. May our blood be on those who live in Babylon, says Jerusalem. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. See, I will defend your cause and avenge you. I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. Babylon will be a heap of ruins, a haunt of jackals, an object of horror and scorn, a place where no one lives. Her people all roar like young lions. They growl like lion cubs. But while they are aroused, I will set out a feast for them and make them drunk, so that they shout with laughter, then sleep forever, not awake, declares the Lord. So that was Jeremiah 51:20 through Jeremiah 51:39. So it sounds to me like God has had enough of, what do you call it, disdain? For some reason that word comes to my mind. He's not happy with how people are behaving, how they're trying to wreck other people's lives. And he's had enough. So he's calling out those who are not with love, right? Those that are just trying to torture a lot of different people because of the power they hold. So, just be on the lookout of those around you that are manifesting that in their own lives. And it's not something that you really want to be around, right? So you should excuse yourself from having any commonalities with those kind of people, because you will reap what they sow if you're in the mix with them. Okay, so let me pull out a card out of my box. Let's see what it has to say. So I don't really want this first one. Okay, I'll take this one here. Oh, I got two. Okay. Things become illuminated. So what was once in the dark, you're now seeing the truth. When you see the truth, you cannot dispute it. And the situation with the Bible scriptures, I can only tell you that you're either on one side of the fence or you're on the other. And when you see that everything is true to actually what it is, instead of, behind the veil, behind wearing the mask, it comes a time when you have to choose. Choose it for you, not for anybody else. If you're part of the problem, then you have some reckoning, right? I don't wish that on anybody. I do pray that people get their justice, and those are for the people who have been harmed by brutality, those who have been ridiculed, those who have been ostracized, those who have been hated because, well, there's many different reasons why people hate, right? But when it becomes illuminated, it's time to wake up. It's time to see the people around you for who they really are. You can turn a blind eye to it, but you're just as guilty. You can decide, hey God, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand up for what's right. It's been bothering me for some time, and maybe I haven't had all the proof, but now I do. God, stand by me when I stand up for the truth. And give me a chance to redeem myself. Give me a chance to be a righteous man or a righteous woman. Give me a chance to turn my life around. Okay, the next one says damaged goods. They or it has to heal in their own timing. Damaged goods. People get damaged by what they've had to endure in their lifetime. And everybody has their own time of healing. The people who damaged you, do you hold animosity towards them? Do you hold any kind of hatred towards them? You have to forgive them. You have to forgive yourself. And you have to move on, whatever that means for you. And let's see what's on the back. Justice and balance. Narcissists, manipulators, deception and envy. They pretend to be your best friend. And now it's illuminated. Am I talking to you, or am I talking to someone who's watching a reading for someone they care about? If that's the case, how do you convey to them, look, John, I'm trying to tell you, those people don't like Sue very much. Those people pretended to be your best friend. They did and said whatever so you would walk away from Sue. And everybody could see how much John loved Sue and Sue loved John. They were jealous of that connection. They were jealous of the love that they could clearly see between the two. So, if this is John, everything's becoming illuminated. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to just let Sue be out there in the left field and just keep being with these people who portrayed to be your friends, who really aren't? And friends, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be whoever it is that spoke to you with a veil on or with a mask. It's all becoming illuminated. Okay. So let's move on to miracles now. In the midst of a meltdown, I breathe through the discomfort and come out the other side. So between the Bible reading and the cards I pulled, in the midst, is it John that's having a meltdown? And he has to breathe through the discomfort to come out the other side? Well, that would be a good thing for John, right? To see everything melting down around him. To breathe. Breathe in God's fresh air. And exhaling the truth that he now knows. Breathing in God's love. And using his breath to say words that might discomfort others to come out the other side. What other ways could it be? In the midst of a meltdown. Maybe it's John feeling like, darn, I believed everything they said about Sue. And now, in my brain, in my mind, in my heart, I'm having a meltdown. I have to come out the other side. It's very uncomfortable. I'll be telling people how they make me really feel. And maybe I'll even give Sue a call and say, hey, you know, we've been through some rough times and I was going through a lot and I pushed you away. And now I see the light. Everything's been illuminated. Maybe Sue tried to tell John, hey John, you know those people around you, they're not really that good for you. You better keep an eye out on them, because I just fear that they're going to be just out to hurt you. And maybe John didn't believe it. So now that the truth has been illuminated, John's having a meltdown. And he's going to breathe in God's love, God's perfect air. And through the discomfort of speaking his truth to everyone involved, and come out the other side. And so he's choosing to get off the fence. He's choosing to not be on that other side. It's your story, dear. If it resonates, you know what to do, right? Build your strength within. Know that you know what you're talking about. Know that you have receipts. Clearly see who the people are around you and what effect they've had on your life. How they affected maybe someone you really, really loved that you pushed away. Maybe you're Sue here watching, and you're saying, wow, if John would do that, if he would actually choose me over them and be good with it, it would make my dreams come true. And Sue might say, you know, even if we never see each other again, it would make me feel so good that he's choosing himself instead of being the people pleaser. And he would learn how to have discernment so those things never happen to him again for the rest of his life. Okay? Kind of a storytelling, right? But that's kind of how I feel for someone out there. It might be something that someone needs to hear. That John is truly sorry for not believing what Sue told him some time ago. And John pushed Sue away, yet he knew that he always loved her and cared about her, and he thought he could get over her. And that now that he's seen everything illuminated, all the lies put on Sue, he's feeling probably a little guilty that he believed them. And through whatever it takes him, he wants to come out to the other side. There's a right side and there's a left side. There's God's side and there's the devil's side. There's spirituality, you know, the Lord, God Almighty. And then if you believe in God, you got to believe in the devil, right? If you believe in good, you got to believe in bad. So I would say that Sue would be telling John, thank God, go through the discomfort and keep breathing and come out to the other side. Okay, so next we have your soul purpose, and we have the engineer. And the stone is sardonyx. The affirmations. I am organized and grounded. I use my knowledge of the sciences and technology to solve problems and create new solutions. I am clear and focused. So after a meltdown, maybe someone's clear and focused. Okay, this is under building. Engineer. Do you enjoy using math and science to develop solutions to technical problems? An engineer links scientific discoveries and commercial applications to develop new products to meet the needs of consumers or society as a whole. Engineering includes aerospace, agriculture, automotive, chemical, civil, electrical, electronics, mechanical, and more. When the engineering Sardonex card comes up in your shuffle, it is signaling a time to design a solution to a problem using your knowledge of technology, math, and science. Are your analytical skills being utilized? Pause to analyze, evaluate, and develop your concept. Necessity is the mother of invention. Many products and systems were developed due to a need for advancement. Do your research on the matter at hand. Be sure to test your ideas and maintain high standards in your research and develop it as it applies in any area of life. Sardonex, which is a vibrational match for this life path, is my support gem when I am birthing ideas for a new product. Sardonex also reminds me to test my products and formulas before they are released in the marketplace. The grounding effect of Sardonex helps me stay focused and work toward completion of the process step by step. It's a reminder to look things up to confirm how to do certain parts of the puzzle, even when I think I know the answers. Sardonex, a variety of chalcedony with bands of brownish red color, is a perfect ally to help you keep your mind clear and ward off distracting and irrelevant interruptions in your thoughts or activities. Use Sardonex to help you develop a more structured existence, founded on stable ground, using your ability to problem solve. Okay, next we have messages from the mermaids, and we have support. Okay. Support. Call upon a trusted friend now. Their perspective will reveal insights into your life that you may not have previously seen or considered. These mermaids are swimming in to support you now because they know another viewpoint is required to help you see your situation clearly from all angles. Sometimes we think we have to be our own counsel, but this isn't true. There are times in life when the trusted advice and support of another is key to setting you on the path to freedom from cares or concerns. The support of a close friend or friends is imperative for you right now. If you feel you don't have a friend to call on, then perhaps consider calling a helpline where you'll find an impartial, kind, and receptive ear. If this message doesn't apply directly to you, then someone around you is in need of this advice, and you could provide the support they require at this time. A supportive friend is someone who loves you unconditionally, is non-judgmental, discreet, and has honesty and integrity. In a way, you're placing your heart and soul into their temporary care while you express what's going on for you. Sometimes we just need to be heard, and the support we require comes from someone simply listening to us lovingly and without judgment. This can be liberating on many levels. It's important that you find or offer support. You can also wish or pray for divine support to be sent to help with this situation. The universe is ready to offer all the support you need. All you have to do is ask from your heart. Okay. Next we have Native Spirit. And we have Dream Traveler. Isn't that pretty? I would picture that somewhere, being somewhere like in New York. Because New York has a lot of trees. Upstate New York has a lot of trees. They actually have the Finger Lakes down there, and I've never seen them. I've driven past them from a distance. You know, like the map saying, the highway map, you know, saying Finger Lakes, 20 miles or whatever, on the next cutoff. Let's see. So I've been blessed. I've actually been blessed. I've seen a lot of the East Coast, and I've actually traveled between the East Coast and the West Coast a couple times. And I think the farthest north I've been is like Oakland, and the farthest south is like in California. The farthest south I actually went into like Tijuana, Mexico. And then of course my travels in the service, I was at Nova Scotia, then I was at Grand Bahamas, then Nassau, Bahamas, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and then my last place that I lived before California was Hawaii. Of course, I've said that several times, and I still dream of traveling more. Okay, Dream Traveler. You are a channel for spirit. Trust your intuition, hunches, and gut reactions. This is a visionary card with the message that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't always seem like it. Your higher self and spiritual guides, ancestors, and guardians are watching over you and supporting you. You are blessed, and you are a blessing. You are a dreamer in the most wondrous definition of the word. Your native spirit wants you to know. In earth-based tribal traditions, people looked to those unique individuals who had the ability to journey during their nocturnal dreams to bring back wisdom and guidance for the tribe. The dreamers were able to step through sacred portals in the night to commune with those on the other side. You carry the energy of the visionary, healer, and seer. Watch your dreams. Messages from the Creator are flowing to you. The journey before going to sleep. Place the journal next to your bed. Most dreams are forgotten within less than 10 minutes, so it's essential to record them as soon as you can upon waking. When the Dream Traveler card chooses you, it's essential to watch your dreams. Profound and even life-changing messages can come through. So, yeah, if you're having dreams, you really need to pay attention to them. I very rarely dream. There was a time in my life I dreamt all the time. That was when I lived in like Norfolk, Virginia. It seemed like every night I was having a dream about something. And well, it's been so long ago, but that was my dream stage time. You know, I dreamt really quite a lot. Okay. Divine Feather. We have a white feather, and it is the white swan. So I saw this YouTube thing earlier today, and I want to say it took place in like China or someplace like that. An older lady, she was, I guess, going to the market, and they had 4 swans they were getting ready to butcher. And she felt bad for them, so she bought them all and brought them home, and she made like a little bed for them, and she fed them, and they became her little babies. And then everywhere she went, the swans would follow her, and they even protected her. Like if she was at the beach or something and someone wanted to come up on her and talk to her, the swans would scare them away, and they were trying to protect their little mama. Okay, white swans is in the front of the book. Let's see. Swans are mighty in size and power, yet soft with their effortless glide and motion. The swan has long been a symbol of beauty, grace, fidelity, and partnership. This symbolism is enhanced by the color white, the color of healing, purity, and the angelics. Swan is also a symbol for transformation. Many folk tales use swans to illustrate the shift from the duckling or child self into the fullness of maturity. Goddesses have also chosen swan as their mount, like the divine goddess Saraswati, who unites with the healing element of water in her quest for wisdom, knowledge, and the arts. The message the white swan brings with it, the message that the power of divine grace is indeed with you and within you. Your connection to Source is powerful, and the healing potential is connected with your collected merits in the form of grace. Now is the time to embrace these divine gifts where you most need support, that healing may be in the form of a blessing over a current situation or transformation occurring in your life. Know that the divine messengers are assisting you now. You have the power through your own grace to move through any situation or challenge you are facing in a smooth, harmonious way. The energies is grace, beauty, fidelity, transformation. The season is summer. The element is water, air. The color is white, purity, and healing. The affirmation, I now accept the gift of divine grace and choose to honor the power and healing light within. So, like with the spirituality, right? Sometimes we have to leave people behind. Sometimes we have to understand that they're on their own journey. However, if you see that someone is being hurt, it's really the right thing to do is to try to get them to understand that you understand what they're going through, and helping them to find their way. That's part of helping one another. And you do it out of the love for the person, out of, when you see someone being tricked, when you see someone being manipulated, when you see somebody being damaged, it's really hard. It's hard to decide exactly what to do. And to leave someone behind would indicate that your hands are tied. It would indicate that really your hands are tied. There's nothing you could do or say to change the situation. And what did he call it? A fight or flight. And sometimes people are just stuck where they're at. And you always wish the best for them. But if your hands are tied, if you reached out and got your hands chopped off, trying to help them understand what you're trying to explain to them, you really can't help them. You have to know that things will always work out, and whatever's for you will always come back to you. And I left my daughter when she was 11, I think. She was 11. And that was one of the hardest things I ever did. And I told her that you don't understand right now, but you will when you're older, when you've had time to live. And I was able to see her when she was 13 and 14, and 15, I think. It was and then her senior year, she's lived with me, and you know, I just tried to, you know, let her be herself. You know, I tried to let her do things that made her happy. She loved to paint, and she liked different kind of art things. So, you know, I tried to provide for her the things that makes her happy. And well, there was like some sort of hiccup, and we disconnected for 8 years. And when we finally reached out, she said, because we both said to each other, you know, if we knew it would work out this well, then, you know, we both would have got back with each other sooner. But you know, my daughter said, you know, Mom, we both needed it this time. And I said, good, you know. I said, I always knew that we would just come back and we would just take it from where we left off. You know, no judgments, just talking about things that happened to her, that bothered her. And, you know, she's seen, you know, she's seen, I don't want to say too much because one day she's going to watch this, okay? But she always knew the difference between living with me and living with her father. I'll just put it that way. And it's a hard place for her to be right now. And she doesn't really have to choose. I'm not asking her to choose, but she really knows the truth of why I left, the truth of how I always felt about her. And she always knew that because we're energetically connected. But you know, she had a lot of struggles in her life, and I was just trying to give her peace. And well, she really didn't get that much peace. So she's doing really good now. She's soul searching and doing her own research on how she can feel better and do better. And her talent keeps her occupied. And you know, she's come a long way in 10 years. And I'm really proud of her. But you know, there's other people that I left behind that I just feel, you know, really should be a part of my life, but some chose to not have that. So I'm not going to beg anybody to be with them. Not my sisters, not my brothers, not my cousins. You know, I'm not going to beg. People want to be in my life, they'll choose to be in my life. And if they don't, then they don't. And I just leave them with words of love. You know, that's all I can do. And I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. And people just need to stop judging. And people need to realize when someone is hurt, you know, try to understand the pain they're going through. So, you know, you could treat them better, right? If you treat someone better who has gone through a lot of pain, they'll bend over backwards for you. And I'm not one to be hypocritical. I'm not going to tell you that, you know, donate to a homeless, and I don't, you know. I give when I can, and I give what I can. And I've always been a giver. I don't have any regrets in giving to anybody that I gave to. And God blessed me to do a lot of paintings that I freely gave. And I don't have one that's a regret because it's God's work. You know, when people look at a painting that they really, 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 really like, right? And like I said, my nephew told me, Auntie, I see your pictures are very beautiful. He said, you don't see it though. You don't see what I see. So You know, when they hang the picture on the wall and I'm 2,000 miles away or 500 feet away, they'll say, oh yeah, Marcia gave that to me. And she just gave it freely with nothing in return. You know, a smile, a hello, how are you doing? That's plenty for me. And I'm all right with that. But the goal is for me is to give you whatever knowledge that I have gained, to heal yourself and to move forward on your path of whatever it is that you desire to do. What does your life look like today? What did it look like 5 years ago? And what do you want it to look like in 5 years or in 10 years? You know, it's the power of the mind. When you really believe that you can find happiness, you know, and have a happy life and knock that chip off your shoulder or get the healing you need. And I say knock the chip off your shoulder because sometimes people have been victimized, but they have to realize they survived it. Be the survivor, not the victim. And I survived a lot in my lifetime. People don't have the first clue. They look at me like I've been spoon-fed by someone very, very wealthy. You know, I carry myself in a way that, you know, no matter what my past is, I accept my past and I accept what I needed to learn from that. And I share it because if it'll help someone, if I tell you one story, and I've told you 500 stories, if I told you one story and I helped you out of that 500 stories, then I did something good. You know, I actually stopped by and bought some honey candy from the local vendor. He parks on the right outside out of town, and you know, we were talking stories and stuff, and basically told him at the end was the person that offered the work was a Chinese guy on the island. He offered work for 30 months and he rang true. We worked for him for 30 months. And I was telling the guy, I was like, I'll tell you how I got the work from him. I said I knew him from when I did vacation rentals. And I went to him, I said, Glenn, I know exactly what you want. I know exactly how you want it to look. And he looked up at me. I said, you want it done the right time, the right way the first time. And I said, I'll do everything in my power to make it happen, every unit. And he gave us the work. And it was really rewarding. Even at the end, you know, it was an accomplishment that we did 30 units in 30 months. And we left him like satisfied with our work. You know, he was actually happy with our work. He sent his New York staff, because he had a whole bunch of units on the island, but his main office is in New York City. So he sent one of his secretaries out. He says, Marcia, I'm sending Michelle over to the executive center to meet you. I want you to take her around and show her all the units, and she's going to take pictures of everything because the people in New York can't get it right. And so, you know, it was sort of like bragging rights, but you know, yeah, I was proud to do a good job for someone. And Chris, he could be very ingenuitive. He was pretty smart when he wanted to be. And he did a good job when he really wanted to. You know, he could do really nice work. when he wanted to. And yeah, so working for Glenn was an experience. And oh, he's such a established man, right? Well, I'll tell you a quick story too. Is his wife Linda. This was years ago. He said his story is this: his wife wanted. It was in the 70s. His wife wanted him to buy this this flat. This it's like in an industrial kind of apartment of some sort, but it had really high ceilings in it. And what it was back in the day when the ships would come into New York Harbor and their sails would break, that unit was the guy who fixed the sails. So that's why it's very tall, right? And I mean, I can only imagine it, but yeah, the guy would repair the sails, like give them brand new sails, so they had to be built somewhere. So in his apartment or his house or whatever, in the apartment was very, very high. And so Glenn asked his wife, well, how much is it? This is in the 70s. She's like, it's $100,000. I really want it. And she went on to say it was like John Lennon's or one of the Beatles places, sometime between when the sails were being repaired to the 70s, right? One of the Beatles actually owned that apartment. And he's like, heck no, I'm not going to buy that. That's $100,000. In the 70s, what could you buy? My parents' house cost $35,000. It was brand new in the 70s, like 1972 or 1973. So $100,000 would be 3 times more of that almost. And yeah, that was a lot of money. But he says he regrets it today because it'd be worth $1 million or more by now. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share some stories with you just to break up the reading. But yeah, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people. We're here to help guide people. We're here to give the best advice. We're here to do good work. You know, whether or not you donate, whether or not you like, share, subscribe, and comment. I mean, all those things would be great, but, you know, no one expects it. You know, we get our payment from God. God always provides. God always makes a way for us. God always is there for us. But I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you. Anyways, moving forward, animal messages. It's the last one before we do the reading. Okay, we have this beautiful hummingbird. What does the hummingbird have to say? Turn away from infidelity so that love may blossom. Okay. So how many of these cards are resonating all in a row? So people around you, that must be someone's spouse, someone's girlfriend or boyfriend, someone's significant other. Hummingbird, delicate beauty of balmy sun-kissed climes. Hummingbird is faithful to the blossoms that nourish her and knows that there is little more injurious to love than infidelity. If a partner is unfaithful, it is time to soar away and taste the affection of another. If you no longer love exclusively, fly away before you bruise their being and take away something essential from your own soul that will leave you less open to love the next time it is offered. Okay. So whoever you are out there, I feel for you. Infidelity is not fun. Infidelity tells you that's not the one for you. Because someone who truly loves you, okay, say say I'm in love with John. You know, if I'm in love with John and me and John we accepted each other and we decided we were going to be committed to each other. If some really good-looking, gorgeous guy happens to come my way, I'm always going to have John on my mind. And this beautiful specimen of a man could try to say all the right words, but my mind's always going to be on John. Like, I'm not entertaining this. I have John at home and he's everything to me. I couldn't live without him and he couldn't live without me. Why would I entertain you when I have someone solid, someone I know? I have a great foundation, a great relationship, a great love. Why would I mess with you? You know, and then if the shoe's on the other foot, you know, if John really loves Sue, he's going to say the exact same thing. So, say some woman comes up to John and says, hey, pulls up in a Ferrari or I don't know, a Corvette or a big hog Harley Davidson, I don't know, whatever kind of cars or automobiles that are really influential to men. You know, Maserati, you know, shows John her bank account and she's got 7 figures there. Come with me, John. Let's go have a good time. If John is really for Sue, he's going to say, you could pay me $10 million. I'm in love. I'm in love with that person. I'm not going to do anything to hurt that person. You're not worth what I have at home. You could have $50 million. You're not worth what I have at home. Those are the true loves. And I've seen it with people, and it makes me really happy for them. It makes me happy when I can see someone who's been married 50 years and they still look in each other's eyes. And, you know, they still smile at each other and they still, you know, have these little cute jokes that they say to each other, these little quirky remarks that, you know, keeps the flame alive. You know, those are rare. That's a very rare love. And, you know, I'm very happy for them. And it's something we all dream of, something we all strive for. So, whoever's experienced this infidelity, just know that it's happening because they don't really belong to you and you don't really belong to them. Okay, moving forward. So now we're going to go with the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. And I have pre-shuffled. Spirit, what message do you want the collective to receive today? My doggy's in the bedroom, laying on a little blankie, trying to sleep. I took him for a ride today. We went down to another park in the next town, which is Nipomo. Nipomo has a bluff, so they sit up on the bluff. So Guadalupe is down in the valley, and Nipomo's on the bluff. And it's changed a lot since I was growing up. All these back roads now have big houses on them. Like what do you call those? Like those mini farms, you know, might be like 5 acres. So there's horses there, and I don't know what else, but then there's some vineyards. We never had vineyards down this far south. All the vineyards were north, but San Luis County has vineyards now. It's changed a lot. Okay, so Spirit, what cards do we want to reveal to our collective today? Can you tell me? Can you help me? Third eye chakra. I'm going to pull like 4 of them and then I'll read them, okay? Okay. I'm just going to pull 3 out of the thing. Then I'll read them. So I got 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3 fell out. I'm going to put them back. At the bottom is material harvest. That's crazy because before I started shuffling before, that's what was at the bottom. Okay, so here we go. The first one we have new beginnings, love begins, triumphant success, and the third eye chakra. Okay, so third eye chakra, got to balance all of our chakras. We've got to study the chakra situation there. Basically, I'll say the dancing, the meditation. Okay, so the color, was saying yellow. Third eye chakra, the color is indigo, the sound is Om. The element is light, the gland is pituitary, the keywords I see. This is the most often talked about of all the chakras, and clairvoyance, inner seeing, intuition, and higher levels of consciousness are all associated with this energy center, found between your eyebrows and just above the bridge of your nose. It works closely with the throat and crown chakra and will assist you with your psychic and intuitive inner guidance. To balance the third eye chakra, I recommend that you practice walking, meditations, breath work, yoga, tai chi, visualizations, and color therapy. Don't just focus on this one chakra as part of your development, as it's important to remember that they should all be in balance in order to work in unison and harmony. So I was thinking about studying up on the chakras, and then I was thinking about studying up with the Reiki, because I only know the word. I don't really know what's all involved. Okay, third eye chakra. So the next one we're going to read is New Beginnings. Is that the order? Yeah, New Beginnings. Zero. Okay, each and every journey begins with the all-important first step. When this card presents itself in your reading, it's confirming that it's time for you to take a brave leap of faith, but be prepared as you do so. This card represents that a great new adventure is awaiting you. It usually shows up when there's a significant inner change happening within you. By selecting this card, it's a sign that those important choices are needed and are about to be made, and should be carefully pondered as you proceed with wisdom, thought, and care. Life is constantly trying to nudge and move you forward. At times it can be daunting when you're faced with a new adventure or direction. Therefore, it calls for inner belief and courage as you take the leap of faith and step into the unknown. During this time, don't be alarmed if you feel lost or even confused. Most people are afraid of change and play it safe by staying where they are. Know that through inner guidance, wisdom, and a belief in yourself, and by tapping into these tools, You'll be propelled forward on a positive, life-changing path. Don't conform to what society or other individuals expect of you at this time. It's your own adventure. During this time, be like an innocent child with fresh eyes and give yourself permission to live, play, love, and above all, laugh. And regular tarot, it's considered the Fool card. That's not F-U-L-L, F-O-O-L. Okay, love begins. Okay, so actually, we have 2 1s. So 0, 1, 1 plus the 6 for the whatchamacallit, for the chakra. Okay. Yeah, I want to study up on those other things. Maybe some numerology. It's going to take a lot of study though. It took me 6 years to feel comfortable doing tarot. And hopefully it won't take me 6 years to learn a new one to add on here. Okay, love begins. Your cup is about to overflow with joy, happiness, and positive feelings. This is the first of the emotions cards, and therefore signifies that a new love opportunity beckons. This doesn't necessarily have to be physical love, but could also represent the passion and devotion for an idea, a goal, or even a new creative endeavor. This would be a perfect time to open yourself and your heart to the higher vibrations and loving energy of the universe. When past issues are resolved, when forgiveness for others as well as yourself has been attained, and when your heart is truly open and ready to receive, then new roads leading you toward love will be revealed. Okay. Next, we have triumphant success. Okay. The first of the mental cards signifies that new beginnings and exciting challenges may be before you. By utilizing your strength, willpower, determination, and focus, there's the potential for you to reign triumph in many areas of your life. In traditional tarot, this card represents the Ace of Swords, and since a sword is double-edged, it can cut through all the barriers that hold you back. If it's done constructively and with precision. Remember that there's another side to the blade. If you're rash or use it in a destructive way, it could be harmful to yourself or others. Always pause and think before you act. This card is a reminder to vanquish negative thoughts from your mind, strengthen and tap into your mental powers, and use clarity with control in order to initiate new ways of thinking. Okay, so the sword is like your tongue, right? You don't want to be all harsh. Even if it's a bad situation, I mean, believe me, I know it's frustrating. You're trying to convey your feelings and it's not being, if it's being heard, there's no action to it. You know what I mean? Like if you say, look, John, I've had it. Can you just please talk to me and hear what I have to say, John? And you sit down with John and you say, look, I don't really feel good about how things are going right now. And John gives you the yeah, like here we go again. How is yeah gonna solve anything? Kind of sounds like a Beatles song, right? Yeah. I know there's a song like that. Anyways, that's not fixing the problem. That's not addressing the problem. That's not finding a solution. That's just pretty much saying, this is where we are. And if you don't like it, like put up and shut up, And nobody wants to feel that way. And then Sue raises her voice. Well, GD, F this and F that, And then, maybe John doesn't even flinch. and Sue's running around with her head cut off. And she's saying worse things and worse things, and he's hearing it, but, maybe he gets to the point where he's numb about it. Like, I heard this last week, and I heard it the week before. How many times are we going to go over this? Well, we're going to keep going over it until we find a solution. And he doesn't really care if there's a solution or not. And it could be the other way around, okay? Got to put it where it fits. So it's very hard when you're feeling unheard. If you're feeling unheard, then you're feeling unloved. So be careful how you use the tongue. Don't just put someone off and say, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, why are you feeling that way? With no compassion, more accusatory, right? Those are the things about a narcissist, okay? Believe me, I had 2 of them in my life, and that's like 40 years of marriage, and I grew up with a whole bunch all around me. So even the ones I thought I was going to forever be close to, I had to cut ties and just leave out of love, Never hate anybody. That's hating someone's not good. I say I love you from a distance, but there's no way I'm ever going to step foot in your house again, because you've broken my trust one too many times, and my peace is my peace. And if you can't respect me, if you can't honor me, if you can't understand me, then I got to go that way. You stay here, I'll go over there. Okay. So Spirit, what else do we need to know? Let's pull up 4 more cards. That was kind of cool doing it that way, instead of one by one. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. Going to take this one. Put that back. Going to take this one and that one. At the bottom is intuition. Alright, let's see what we got. Not sure the exact order, so we'll just go through them. So we have financial and material changes. We have prosperity begins. We have awareness. And we have patience and planning. So, I don't remember how it fell out, so we'll just take it from here. Financial and material changes. So, can go either way. You're either going to be on the up or you're going to be on the down. Would you stay with someone just to stay on the up? Or would you take a loss just to get your peace? There isn't enough money on this world that I would take to take away my peace. And that's just me. So, let me see. So we're thinking, which way is it going? I would say after all these, you must be, someone wants a new beginning, someone wants a new love, someone wants to be triumphant. So if they're in a situation and it happens to be financially stable, but there's no love, right? Of course, you're going to have to change that, because you're not going to have 2 incomes anymore. You're only going to have 1. You step out by yourself. Is it worth it to you? Is it worth it to struggle? I mean, is it worth it to you to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a whole month to have your peace versus, having burgers and steak and seafood, and you either be in chaos or you be in peace. You either have a lot of money because maybe you're with someone who you both make good money together, but you have no peace, no love, whatever your situation is. You have to decide where you're at. But I think somebody's in a situation where they're not really happy, but it's comfortable because all the bills are paid. Everybody ends up with an extra whatever, $400 or $500 to carry them through the month to do whatever they want. But They're not happy. They got someone dictating over them. Well, you promised me that you were going to buy me that Louis Vuitton bag, and it's $900. You know. Oh, that's I wouldn't spend that kind of money on that. I actually watched one of those leather guys, a leather professional, and he said that you know, the more expensive bags were made with like less quality leather than some of the other ones. So you're paying for the name. Okay. The number 5 physical card represents change, challenge, and losses, usually related to material financial concerns. You may be losing some of the things around you, but you must acknowledge and know that besides existing as a physical being, you are an incredible and resourceful spiritual entity. Use your power forces within to help you through this difficult period. Everything changes for a reason, and this time isn't meant to be a punishment. Know that your current conditions will transform for the better. A positive question to ask yourself now is, what did I learn from this, and how can I avoid it in the future? Remember that there are lessons to be understood in everything. It's up to you and you alone to decide how long it will take for you to learn them. So you stay to have the comfort, right? But you're miserable. So how much comfort can you have if you're miserable? All right. So next we have prosperity begins. So someone's making a choice. Hey, I'm walking away from this. If I have to eat peanut butter and jelly for the next 6 months, it'll be worth it, because I'm tired of hearing the arguing and the bickering and he said, she said, and all the deceiving. I'm now being illuminated to what I've been putting up with is nonsense, and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. Right? So once you leave, and you'll be so happy to eat peanut butter and jelly. I stopped eating peanut butter how many years ago? Probably like 6 years ago. I love peanut butter and jelly. I mean, I love peanut butter. I would just go get a scoop of peanut butter and just have that for a little snack. The problem is how many times did I need that little snack? So, I mean, like, I love peanut butter, but it really is not that good for you fat-wise. Okay, prosperity begins. This card brings a message of beginnings, prosperity, wealth, and new business, which could soon be in the palm of your hand. It may result from the hard work, past efforts, and investments, or it could show up unexpectedly. It may even be presented as a gift. With careful and diligent planning, recent endeavors and money-making ideas show great possibilities and promises of monetary gains. This is a time to focus on the most beneficial outcome, expect the best, and envision that project or new job having a successful result. Feel it, see it, and most important, believe it. When you focus on abundance and the positive aspects of the material world and offer gratitude, prosperity in all forms will flow even more freely. Okay, the next card is awareness. So now we have 4 ones. We had, the time earlier was 1111. That's right. The last reading, the time was 1111, and now here we have 1111 again. Okay, awareness. So the last reading, yeah, I did it at the very end, the time thingy. The time thingy. Okay. This card is one of the key reminders that you already possess all the tools to guide and direct you in your life, whether it's wisdom, intuition, psychic skill, creativity, self-motivation, love, willpower, physical ability, or just pure courage. They are all part of you. Once you learn to tap into and use them, you will be amazed by the power and effect they can have. You have the ability to allow the universe to work in partnership with you. Together you can manifest change, whatever the desire may be, and bring about a positive outcome. This card represents your ability to create your own reality, to set aside into motion and watch them grow. This card is often drawn when you're ready to switch direction, start a new project, or change careers. Now is the time to use positive thoughts, visualizations, and affirmations as you veer away from negativity. Knowledge is power and can lead to success. By having faith, keeping your willpower strong and directed, and by tapping into the tools that you possess, as well as calling on the magic from the universe, you can accomplish anything and everything you set out to do. The Magician. So I just had this vision. I had this vision of someone who's watching me, right? Someone who's watching me, and maybe they're watching other readers, but I don't know. I think it's someone who just watches my readings. And then, they're understanding more about spirituality, more about the power within them, more about the tools that God gives everybody. And then they become this big success, right? And they say, you know how they have those interviews with the really rich people? Okay, what's the secret to your success, John? Well, believe it or not, I was watching this girl, Marcia, on her channel is Living Divinity, whatever, Tarot 123. I just go by Living Divinity. That's my tattoo on my neck. Well, I was watching this girl, Marcia, and she has a Living Divinity on YouTube. And I was really soul searching, and she really helped me come out of a situation that I was stuck in. And she told me to go take a leap of faith. And I prayed to God, and God said yes. He gave me the signs. Yes, take the leap of faith. We got so many doors to open up for you, John. And John takes a leap of faith. All of a sudden, he's very successful, and he's come from a dark place, very, very dark place. And now all he is sunshine. Maybe they call him sunshine. I don't know. But then he's like, yeah, I only watched this one girl, Marcia, Living Divinity. She helped me through all of this. Every one of her readings seemed to resonate for me. And I would be thinking, how can she just, everything she says resonate with what's going on in my life? And it's not me. I'm reading the cards. God dictates what cards I pull, right? So, anyway, so it would be if John became rich and famous, right? And he said, oh, yeah, it's this one girl, Marcia, Living Divinity. Okay, he's already got his notoriety because he's already made it. But then that notoriety jumps to me because I was his reader, right? And then, of course, I give God all my praise, right? But what happens to my life? How does my life change because I changed John's life, right? That's kind of what I'm envisioning right now for my life, is that someone out there who's watching is really learning something. And it's only by God's grace, right? My knowledge is only by God's grace. My driving force is God, because God already took me out of a dark place too. How can I unsee what I've already seen him, God that is, do in my life? That I share my information with all of you out here, and there's someone out there, his name could be John, I don't know. But, that could happen in the future where, John becomes famous. And he's like, oh yeah, this one reader on YouTube, she's awesome. Her name's Marcia, and she lives somewhere in Central California. I don't know the town, Guadalupe. Because I do say it. I don't really care if people know where I live. I'm not going to be hiding. I'm divinely guided and protected. So I don't really care who knows where I live, because no one's going to step to my door unless God says it's okay. I'm protected. Okay, so John becomes famous, and then he mentions my name, and then I give all the glory to God. But yes, people will start believing, hey, this girl could really read. It happened in John's life, so I'm going to get her to do me some readings, and I give all the glory to God. And whatever money that I make off of readings, I'm always going to have some put aside to help the homeless. I'm always going to put some aside for my nest egg. I'm always going to put some aside to help someone else along the way financially, not only by doing my readings, right? I'm helping people, but financially help people along the way. And I want to do like kids groups. I want to do stuff for the elderly. I want to do things for the veterans. I'm a veteran myself. I want to do things for people who are in need. So many times there's so many veterans homeless on the street. How did they get there? Why didn't anybody have any decency? What happened in their life that put them out on the streets? Everybody has a story to tell. But whoever you are, if you're John, go ahead and take that leap of faith. And don't forget to mention my name. Okay, let's move forward. Patience and planning. So I just had that vision. I had to share it with you guys. Okay? You see that in the future. Maybe it'll be in the near future. You never know what God has planned for you. Just be on the right side of God and thank Him for everything and be joyous and happy about it. And understand that when things go bad, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And it's happening for you to learn a lesson, to say, now I know what I don't want. So if you're having a bad situation, you can write down all the things that's bad about it, and then when you're ready to end it or whatever, if it can't change for the better, then you'll know all the things you don't want. So then the next relationship, you'll put your boundaries up and you say, these are the things I can't accept. Now, if you forget like one little thing and the other person you're becoming familiar with, that person might say, well, he didn't say this one thing, right? And then you get caught up there. If she can't fix it or he can't fix it, then you got to do what you got to do for yourself, right? Because it's not happening to you. It's happening for you to realize that, oh, you have this list of all the things you don't want, but you forgot to mention this. So then you grow and you learn, and the next relationship you say, I'm going to move it slowly, and these are the things I will not tolerate, right? And hopefully you hit all the marks. So now you can focus on, you could tell God, these are the things I don't want, God. Bring me the right person, right? And you will reflect what you still need to heal inside. So if you missed a spot, God might send you someone who's going to trigger that so you can learn from it. And maybe this one, you guys can work through it. Good things come to those who wait. This card signifies the qualities of patience and letting go of control. You should now pause, rest, assess, and rethink what's in front of you before continuing. The number 7 physical card reminds you to reevaluate the goals that you're seeking, your finances, and even your relationships. Take the time to review each area one by one, for there's no rush when you're planning for a successful future. As you pause during this period, notice what has worked well for you in the past, not what you or others believe to be true, but in actual positive experiences. While you're at this reflecting stage, you can stand back and plan how you're going to handle potentially difficult, complex decisions and situations that may arise in the future. Okay, let me see, we're at hour 24. Let's go 3 more, and then we'll do the time thingy. Now remember, the last reading, the time was 11:11, and now we have 4:1, so that's 2 times in one day that we had the 1-1 synchronicity. Okay, So there's got to be some spiritual meaning beyond the meaning. Well, I don't know how to put it, but it's like a confirmation of the other reading regarding the time thingy. Okay, so all right, let's pick 3 more cards and I'll read 3 more. Spirit, what else do you want the collective to know, Lord? Thank you very much. Archangels, spirit guides, ancestors, and of course God Almighty. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here. Going to take this one here. Going to take this one. Oops. This one here. At the bottom is the universe, and it's not upside down. The whole deck's upside down. The bottom is the universe. So I'm going to take that one. Okay, hold on. One fell. So through this, someone is going to feel like their tower's falling, right? That was that's one that just fell on the ground. Okay. Okay, so the 3 on top, just so you can see, is balance, which is another 11. Passion ignited, which is another 1. And then the solar plexus. I'm not going to read those though. They were on the very top. You know how I like to be greedy and ask for another one on top? Or the 3 on top. Okay, so out of here we have authority, transformation, mental conflict, and the universe. Okay, the universe was at the bottom. Okay, so let's read the universe, even though that might be considered the ending card. 21, Major Arcana. Which is, yeah, that's the last one of the Major Arcana. You've come far on your journey, and it's time to be rewarded for your efforts. This card symbolizes completion, triumph, peace, liberation, and fulfillment. Everything you strived for is within your reach. Meet it halfway and grab it. The universe is the last of the Major Arcana cards and reflects the work that you've accomplished on your travels. But more importantly, it represents the wisdom that you've gained along the way. You should now honor and acknowledge the truly wonderful soul that you are, and accept the vital part that you play in the bigger scheme of life. The world is yours to command, and you're free to travel in whatever direction your heart desires. You're connected to everything in the cosmos. The universe card is a reminder that the same energy making up the stars in the sky, the same energy that's coursing through the universe, is in each and every individual. In ancient times, many believed that each star was the soul of one person. They also believed that these souls shined so brightly to guide others through the darkness. And so too can your wise soul. And it's the World card. Okay. So the first one that we had was authority, which is that's the masculine. Okay. That's the masculine. Authority. Major Arcana. This card represents the masculine qualities of leadership, logic, strength, wisdom, and power. When this card emerges, it acts as a teaching tool, and in doing so, it is encouraging you to develop or reignite these qualities and tap into the masculine aspects of yourself. Other traits also included are good reasoning and problem-solving skills, being grounded, and learning to develop strong mental control over free-reigning emotions. Oftentimes this card appears to symbolize a father figure or an individual of wise authority who may be present in your life. It could be someone of high influence in business or a prudent friend who uses logic and reason to create a positive outcome. Ask yourself whether it's time to take on and emulate similar qualities. Now is when you must act like a leader and exert your will by incorporating form and structure into ideas, plans, and foundations. It's time to stop talking and act in order to achieve what you must. Use the qualities and character of the authority card so that when you need to make a choice, you approach it from a place of wisdom, rationality, logic, and grace rather than one of foolishness, belligerence, greed, or self-centeredness. This way in which you acquire, handle, and wield power and authority is now being tested. The Emperor. So, after you've asked God for forgiveness and you've opened your heart to Him, and you're pledging your soul to Him, I will walk the path, dear Lord. Right? He will test you. He will test all of us. He will throw things in front of us to see, are we going to keep choosing Him? So when God gives us to you, when things have been illuminated, when you have seen the synchronicities, never go back. Because we all have a choice. I make it easy for God and I make it easy for myself. I said my will is God's will. Whatever He wants me to have, I will accept it graciously. If He wants me to have a whole bunch, I will accept it graciously. If He wants me to have enough to get by, I will accept it graciously. I will accept whatever God wills me to have. And I'll always be thankful. I always will show gratitude. I will always appreciate, because that's the way we get to hold on to, God in our life, is by showing appreciation and thankfulness and doing His bidding and doing life for Him. Okay? So next we have transformation. Someone's gone through a transformation. Now opposite, it would be like, I don't know. I'm just going to read them the order I'm going to read, but I'm not sure how they fell out. But like the best case scenario would be this, right? It would be, and you're in mental conflict. You decide, yeah, I'm going to transform. I'm going to be on God's side. And then He's going to give you this authority, and then God will test you. Are you really serious? Is that where you're going to be? Do not betray me. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom, right? You opened your heart to me. I'm going to give you the keys to the pearly gates, right? Don't betray me. So anyways, let's read transformation, and then we'll read the mental conflict. Okay, transformation, Major Arcana 13. A time of endings is close at hand. Don't resist the abrupt changes that are suddenly happening in your life. These could be taking place in your personal life, relationships, business, or career. You have the strength, as the transformation card asks you to have, courage, and to know that renewal follows every conclusion. This card comes forth to remind you that the death of an old way of thinking and believing must occur before you can move forward on your new path. Transformation is all about the ebb and flow of life cycles. Nothing in this life remains motionless. Everything is on its way to somewhere, except the changes and opportunity will come to expand you in more ways than you could have ever imagined. You can't live in the past. It's time to move on. In order to take the next positive step, you should look closely at your own life and ask yourself, are there loose ends that need to be tied up? Are there people in my life whom I need to express myself to? what needs to be completed so I can have a fresh start. When you do so, you'll have a stronger, more reinforced foundation to carry you through the new beginnings that await you. And that's considered the death card. So the last card of mental conflict. Okay. Mental conflict. This card deals with the inability to move forward as self-doubt emerges from indecisiveness and not being able to take action with a person, group, or even a situation in your present life. It may not be an easy decision, but you're already aware of this. Just remember that you have the strength, courage, and power to make all the necessary considerations when you decide to act and finally make the choices that need to be made. Then and only then will a solution be forthcoming, and with it a sense of mental relief. There's assistance out there for you, so seek out and listen to wise counsel to help you make the right decision. Listen to your intuition and have faith in yourself. Peace and harmony will soon be yours. So sometimes someone takes a lot of thought to decide something, sometimes people take a lot of time to think, how is this going to go? How is it going to be? And, I say God bless you if that's who you are. I know it took me, I was married the first time 19 years and the second time 16 years. And I kept wanting to fight for it. I kept wanting to make it work. I kept wanting, all the red flags in my first marriage was, they just blew right by. I didn't give them any mind because I wanted the marriage to work. And it was tradition per se in my family. My grandparents on my mom's side stayed together until they died. My parents stayed together until my mother died. I wanted to have that for my family, but I just couldn't do it anymore. The love had died, and there's no reviving when someone you love puts everybody else first and always puts you on the back burner with "we'll see." Every answer was "we'll see," and nothing ever came out of it. So everybody has their own things that they have to move through. The thing is if you really feel like there's better opportunity out there, I'm not saying women, I'm saying, like a whole new life, And when I say women, it could be men, right? Whatever it is for you. Do you really see yourself being with the person you're with or the situation you're with for long term? And how's it going to look? How has it looked the past 5 years, the past 10 years? And how's it going to look? How does it look this year? This year, does it look worse than it did 5 years ago or 10 years ago? And have you guys made any changes, any compromises, any conclusions to what's going on to make it better? So it's ultimately up to you what you do. If you're already a couple, are you going to stay together? Can you work it out? Is the trust lost? Is the love lost? That's all the things that you have to come to. You have to understand you, and he or she has to understand their self. And it's totally up to you guys what you guys do. But if you're already separated and you're waiting for them to come back, well, if there's no communication there, then what will you do? Will you just stay and wait? Or will you try to heal and move on? And so there's so many different particulars, right? Maybe you guys are communicating, and maybe he or she's telling you, look, I'm really tied up right now. I just can't pick up and go. I have responsibilities. And whoever's telling you that, they need to know that, well, if that's how they feel, you wish them the best, but you got to keep it moving, you know. You can't wait any longer. Or whatever the situation is, you might want to wait, you know. Everybody has a different opinion and everybody has a different idea, and I'm not here to tell anybody to do anything specifically. I'm just putting words out there, and if they resonate, then maybe you can decide which way you're going to go. But if it doesn't, then you stay in the mental conflict, and mental conflict is very tiring. It's very draining, you know. So the choice is yours. Maybe you have to just think about yourself and say, look, you know, this is what it's doing to me, and I can't do this anymore because we can't find a resolution. We've said suggestions and nobody's following through. It's not holding water. Everybody's different, dear. So I don't want to tell anybody to do anything. You just take the information. If it resonates, move in the way that makes you happy. You know, think about what makes you happy and where you're going in life, and can these people come with you? Can they not? It could be friends, it could be family, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, whatever it is. It's up to you to do your inner work. It's up to you to pray to God and ask Him for guidance. And when you see the signs, you know, maybe the readers already told you if you're watching other readers. Hey, it's time to tell them to kick rocks. Or whatever, you know. I just know my life is short, okay? I've lived almost 62 years of my life. You know, I got another, you know, if I stay healthy, I could live to be 90. I could live to be 100. You know, that's still a long life, but I have to, you know, I have to exercise every day. I got to eat right. I got to think about what's going into my body. I got to think about my stress level. All those things matter in your longevity. So mental conflict, you're like a, what do they say, a ticking time bomb, you know, and you don't want to live like that, right? Who wants to live like on the edge, like, oh my God, if John says one more thing to me that I don't like tonight, I am just going to go completely off. Who wants to live like that? Or you know, you catch someone being deceiving. Who wants to live like that? I know I don't. So hopefully that's not you. Hopefully this mental conflict is just a card. Okay? It's either part of your life or it's not. I don't know. It's not my life. So let me go get the phone so we could do the time thingy. Okay, it says 5:54. I think we already had that. No, it says time 5:55. We'll do 5:55. I think last time I said we would do, if it changed, we would do 5:5. I mean, like, I think last time was 5:54, and I said, oh, if it goes 5:55, we're going to stick with 5:54. So now we actually have 5:55. Okay. So I want to get Joanne's thing. Okay, Joanne. Number 555 is comprised of the number 5 appearing tripled. Okay. Carries the strong vibrations of making decisions and life choices, personal freedom and individuality, cleverness and intelligence, adaptability and versatility, life lessons learned through experience and resourcefulness, opportunity and expansion, spontaneity, life changes and new opportunities, adventure, curiosity, challenges, idealism, action, and activity. It tells of significance and necessary changes happening in your life that have been divinely inspired and guided. These changes will bring about long-awaited circumstances and results and will fully align you with your true divine life purpose and soul mission. Angel number 555 is a message from your angels that it is time to let go of the old that is no longer positively serving you. Trust that they will be replaced with better. Release old doubts, fears, and perceived obstacles. And if feeling any fears or confusion, ask for support and guidance from your angels. Know that your angels are with you always. Keep a positive attitude and mindset about the new entering your life. Oh, hold on, for some reason everything seems blurry. Hold on. Okay. Keep a positive attitude and mindset about the new entering your life, and keep an open mind as to the opportunities presenting themselves. Remember that everything happens for a reason and nothing happens by chance. Even though the reason or reasons for the changes may not be clear at this point in time, trust that all will fall into place for you. These changes have come about so that you can break free from old restraints and constraints and freely pursue your soul purpose as a spiritual being. Angel number 555 suggests that major life changes are taking place in many areas of your life. Trust that these changes are for both your immediate and long-term benefit. The angels ask that you go with the flow. Okay? Go with the flow of God. Go with the flow. Go with the flow doesn't mean you let people keep kicking you around, keep disrespecting you. All right? Go with the flow. That's the end of our reading, folks. Thank you for spending so much time with me. Sending you all so much love. I love all of you. Energetically, I'm shaking your hand, I'm holding your hand, I'm giving you a hug. I'm embracing you. Sending you love. Sending you healing, joy, happiness, comfort. You know, all the feelings of home. The home that you know in your heart to be the most special place. You know, not all of us had a great home life, you know. But home, you know. Sending you all the goodness that God has put in my life. I share it all with you. How's that? All right, so I'm ending it now. Remember, without any of you, there's no need for me to be here. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful evening. Have a beautiful day whenever you're viewing this posting. And if you feel up to it, please like, share, subscribe, and make a comment. All right, aloha. See you the next reading. Bye-bye.